Hey, Happy New Year everyone! My name is Tobin Doobie, and this is Commercial Review. The more observant among you may have noticed that I am not David Carver, nor do I have as entertaining of a background. David is taking somewhat of an enforced break this week after some kind of hilarious computer mishap. So until next Thursday, I will be filling his commercial reviewing shoes. Because it's a new year, I wanted to review 3 commercials that have come out already in 2014, commercials that I hope will prove to be the beginning of a trend that we will see more of as the year progresses. The 3 commercials I want to cover are the Skydivers commercial for the Sony Alpha 7 camera, the Beginnings commercial for Dell Computers, and the Mom Song campaign for Old Spice Refresh Body Spray. All 3 of these commercials attempt some kind of emotional storytelling associated with their product, but the ways they go about this and the ways that they view their product are pretty different. Let's jump in with Mom Song by Old Spice. This has got to be one of my favorite commercials in a long time. We see several vignettes of young men having romantic interactions with young ladies, while distraught mothers keep an eye on them from inside hedges, under seat cushions, and somewhere up above the frame, I guess, all the while singing that their boys have grown into manhood before they were ready for it, and Old Spice Refresh Body Spray is to blame. I know what I liked about this commercial is that it takes a familiar part of life, that mothers are often sad to see their boys grow into adulthood, and uses it to tell a story about their product, as if they're saying, "It'll make a man out of you so fast it'll make your mama cry." Doing a commercial that is as wacky and absurd as what we've come to expect from Old Spice, and to tie it to emotions that are that familiar, I think is a great move, and it's going to make this campaign that much more memorable than the Terry Crews commercials of the last couple of years. I also like the kind of manhood that Old Spice brings about. Each young man in this commercial is someone who's taking the lead in the relationship, basically relating to girls in ways that we would recognize as being mature. This is markedly different than Axe ad campaigns, which give us beer commercial stereotype males who can't think about anything except boobies, which is all that the commercial really seems to expect from its consumer. Its commercials simply say, "Hey, you want to get laid all over the place? Use Axe body spray." In Smell Come to Manhood, what's upsetting these moms is not that their sons have become dissolute adolescents, but that they've become men, and they're going to be moving out to start their own families soon. To me, this demonstrates Old Spice's ability to break out of the box and move away from what we've come to expect from a men's scent commercial. The second commercial I want to talk about also stirs the emotion, but with none of the comedy of Smell Come to Manhood. The skydiving commercial for the Sony Alpha 7 was shot at 15,000 feet. Its stunning visuals reminding us that a commercial can be a piece of visual art. Now, granted, camera commercials are kinda easy. You just show something beautiful and voila, the commercial speaks for itself. But this production really impressed me, in that it provides a window into an unknown experience. It's very like a film. It starts with a slow motion feel and ends with a fast-paced, exciting action feel, kind of to capture both moods that would happen on a day of documenting your adventure on a Sony camera. Yes, they're trying to sell a product, but I love that they took the time to create a commercial that's beautiful in itself. Is YouTube a richer place for this being here, regardless of whether or not you're interested in the product? That's the test of whether a commercial is good art. And even when they bring their product feature in kind of an exaggerated Space Odyssey kind of way, it's not even that cheesy, though I did worry what would happen if they dropped that lens on somebody. The third commercial I want to talk about also goes for emotional appeal, but not as well, in my opinion. You know what? I'm just gonna let you watch it.
This is the story of the little room over the pizza place at 315 Chestnut Street, the modest first-floor bedroom in Tallinn, Estonia, and the dusty basement at 1406 35th Street.
Oh man, is this commercial still going? I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here, or maybe that something is empathy. Maybe I don't know the stories that this is talking about, but the rags to riches success stories of companies whose names flash up on the screen one after another, it's just not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, or necessarily even something that I've heard of, except for Facebook, because there was a movie about that one, and I noticed that even this commercial doesn't want to associate itself with Mark Zuckerberg. But if I haven't heard these stories, I'm not going to care. Halfway through the commercial, I find myself wondering what these locations even have in common. Oh, they're all places that now famous companies started out. So what is this saying about Dell Computers exactly? That after being on the market for longer than a lot of these companies, Dell still needs to run a commercial like this to make people fall in love with them? A better example of this exact style to me is the commercial for the Cadillac CTS that came out not long before.
Hewlett-Packard and Disney both started in garages. The Ramones started in a garage.
Oh, they're all garages. I get it. And what are you implying about your product? That it came from the same place as the best ideas in America? I get it. It's just as emotionally manipulative, and it says nothing substantial about your product, but at least I get it. So there you have two commercials that use the humble beginnings motif. One of them well, one of them... Ultimately, though, there is a ceiling on how emotionally significant that kind of commercial can be, because the thing they're tugging your heartstrings with is their own product, which would really only work if you already loved their product, in which case they wouldn't have needed to make the commercial. So with each of these commercials, even though Dell computers didn't do it as well, again, my opinion, you have an emotional tone and a story that kind of makes the product take a back seat. And whether that's done well or it's done poorly, that's a trend we could afford to see more of in 2014. Okay, that's all for me. What trends would you like to see in 2014? What trends have you seen already? Leave me a comment and David will read it when he gets back.
Old Spice, take a look what you've done. You've made a sexy man right out of my son. Old Spice!